I have access to an AI tool that not only will find you profitable EV plays, but will actually build the slip for you. You can right now go on PrizePicks and make profitable slips without one, knowing how to build profitable slips, and two, actually building them yourself. There's an AI tool that will not only build the slips for you, but actually make you money over the long term. And I can show you exactly how to do it step by step. Back in 2024, I got limited on PrizePicks after making $32,000 on their app. Once I got limited, I moved my strategy over to every single book, and I've made over $40,000 this year. I am limited on every single DFS app and sportsbook in Florida that's available to me, but I was still able to make well over $1,000 on just the DFS apps I'm limited on in under a week of July. And the best part about it is I'm not even doing it myself. An AI tool does it all for me. But the first thing we need to figure out on PrizePicks is what props are profitable and what slip types to build, okay? Now, although this new tool is actually going to help you build the most profitable bets, you need to understand what the most profitable slip types are. That way you can actually build the right slip type with this tool. Everybody knows the payouts you get on PrizePicks. For a 2-man, you get a 3x. For a 3-man, you get a 6x. For a 4-man, you get a 10x. For a 5 and a 6 pick flex, you get a 10 and a 25x, right? So everybody knows those payouts, but what odds do you actually get for all of those payouts? So if you go to build a 2-man on PrizePicks, you'll notice if you put two props equally weighted at -136, you get a 3x payout. Those are the odds you're getting every single time you build out a 2-man on PrizePicks. Now, as you can see, if you add just one more leg, all of the odds get significantly better, right? Because a 6x payout is what you get for a 3-man power. And as you can see, -122 is the 3 equal legs for this prop. Why are they all equal? Because every single prop on PrizePicks is a 50-50 payout prop. No matter what side you take, you get the same payout every single time. So they're all equally weighted. And as you can see, for a 3-man 6x, you get significantly better odds when you build out a 6x parlay instead of a 3x parlay. Now, instead of going through every single slip type, on screen here, you're going to see every single slip that you can build and the percentages you need to be able to be profitable long-term with that slip. As you can see, the 5 and the 6 pick flex are the most profitable slip types you can build. And then you can go down the list, right? You can go down to the 3 pick power, you can go all the way down to a 3 pick flex. So if you're just building the right slip types, whether that's the 5 or the 6 pick flex, the 3 pick powers, you're going to be able to get every single prop for a much better price. So if you're getting a better price every single prop, you're going to be able to be profiting more long term because you're going to be beating the house edge every single prop. Now, for a 5 and a 6 pick flex, you need to be beating a 54.3% hit rate, which essentially means on a 5 and a 6 man, you need to be beating the odds of -119. Now, if you go over to the 3 pick power, for example, a 6x parlay, you need to be beating -122 odds every single prop. So we need to be picking the right props and we need to be building the right slip types. But lucky for you, this tool does all of that for you. Now, the tool I'm talking about is the EV Sniper tool on Upside Tools. This tool not only shows you the most profitable slip types by EV percentage, but it also allows you to manually build it and then automatically build it on PrizePicks. You can do this on your desktop, you can do it anywhere you want, and it saves so much time. So as long as you know what slip types to be building, and now you do, this is literally the easiest tool in the world. All you now need to do is click a few buttons, build the right slip, and you have a profitable slip every single time you build one. The more slips you build, the more EV and ROI you're going to have, and the more you're going to profit over the long term. For example, if you take a look for books, not only can you just select PrizePicks, but you can select any single sports book you want. Hard Rock, DraftKings, Underdog, any DFS app. You can select any book you want and do the exact same thing on that book. But for example, with PrizePicks, you can see I can select the sports, I can select my custom weights that I want, I can set how many minimum books it's comparing to, I can select best EV starting soon or by sport. I can do anything I want and everything shows up on this dashboard. So as you can see, the Morocco versus France game, I have 11.4% ROI on this Jules shots prop. -119 is what I'm getting on PrizePicks if I build a 5 or 6 pick flex, -122 on a 6x like I talked about. So what I want to do is build the most profitable slip type, a 5 or a 6 pick flex, or a 6x power, and basically just automatically build it onto PrizePicks. So as you can see, with all of these green EV plays, I essentially just want to manually go on here and select the add button to my bet slip. So now if I just go ahead and choose the 5 props I want to put on my 5 pick flex, and I click the action button, this plus button here on all 5 of those props, I can go ahead and open up the bet slip. Now what this shows me is the ROI I'm going to get on this slip. So if you choose the slip type you're going to build, the 5 pick flex, you're going to see a 30% ROI on this one slip alone, and I haven't done anything, okay? So not only am I getting a ROI of 30%, I can also see the percentage of the hit rate that I'm going to have on this slip. So a 6% hit rate for this 5 pick flex, a 30% ROI over the long term, and the best part is I can click this button right here, and load it up on PrizePicks automatically. I literally built this slip out of nowhere. Quickly before we continue, if you want every single play I make with this strategy, you can get a 5-day free trial with the link below. And if you want to try upside tools completely free as well, you can get a 5-day free trial with the link below that. And you can also use code icon at checkout and you'll get 25% off any tool you choose. Now, once I remove 2 random props just to show you this builds correctly, I now have a 3-pick power, a 20.9% ROI, a 20% chance to hit, and if I enter on PrizePicks, it now builds me a 3-pick power. Okay, I can switch more or less. I can put this in $1 because I am limited, unfortunately, but now I get a 6x. I just created a profitable slip. This is exactly how I've made well over $1,000 in the first week of July, and I do this every single day. This takes no skill, no knowledge of sports, nothing. All you need is an Upside Tools membership, and you can literally build these slips in under 10 seconds. This is the best tool that's ever been created because not only can you choose the profitable props, but you can make it automatically, which literally saves hours on end of building slips, building the best profitable slip types, and you can do it all within this tool. Now, something I really like about this tool, if you ever run out of props and you're like, I only have 1 or 2 more, but I want to build my 5-pick flex, the best thing you can do is just add it to your bet slip, go down here, enter on PrizePicks. You'll see them pop up right here. And then what you can do is just go back to the player prop optimizer, the best way to manually do it. Go to PrizePicks and just go ahead and choose your props and add it to your slip. So for example, if I wanted to take some more props instead of just those 2 props, I wanted to take Stewart on his over 5-point fantasy score. Now I can just go here, open the MLB, type in Stewart, click on the over on his fantasy score, and now I have another 6x. So I can not only build them automatically, but if I only manually want to take a couple off of the board, or if there's only 1 or 2 left that I haven't taken so far, I can automatically add them to my bet slip, open up PrizePicks, and then just manually go find 1 or 2 more props. Now, when I do build 1 or 2 automatically off the bet slip, a huge recommendation I have is to find that 1 or 2 extra props. I highly recommend going on the Whale Watch tool. Now, the reason is because the Whale Watch tool, in my opinion, is one of the strongest tools you can build 1 to 2 props off of, and then fill it up with the EV optimizer or the sniper tool, right? So for example, if we have 2 props already and we need 1 really good one, you can see we have $780 of liquidity on this Bryce Matthews. Now, anything over $500 of liquidity tells me there's a lot of confidence by the sharp bettors on the exchanges. Now, as you can see, I can take this on Underdog, PrizePicks, or Dabble, and it's still beating the price of -123 that a sharp bettor is laying $780 on. So what I want to do is go ahead and take this exact Bryce Matthews on the over hits. I go back over to PrizePicks, I type in Bryce, I take his over hits, and now I have another 6x. So this is the exact process I would do. I would build it on the sniper tool automatically, and if I ever needed 1 or 2 more props, I would take it either over to the Whale Watch tool, which I highly recommend, or the optimizer tool, and just add 1 or 2 more EV props, and that way you're building the most profitable slip types. Either a 5 or 6-pick flex or a 3-pick power would be my recommendation. Those are the best slips with either the least variance or the most variance, but with the highest ROI with the 5 and the 6-pick flex. So not only can you build these plays automatically, but you can also build the most profitable slips out there currently. Now, one last thing I want to show you, if you ever want to do a little bit more research on every single prop, you can actually open any of these props and take a look at what books it's comparing to. For example, if we take a look at Kevin's fantasy points, we can open this up and we'll see -119 is what we get on PrizePicks. And we get a 6.5, 6.5, and a 6.5 fantasy score on all 3 of the other DFS apps. Over here, we're getting a 5.5 fantasy point. So what we notice is we have a full point discrepancy to all 3 different DFS books. For me, that's enough of a tell. I can take this as a profitable bet. So now I know what I'm comparing to. I can add this to my slip type as a very confident bettor, and I can automatically build this over on PrizePicks. Now I have a Discord that posts all of these 6-mans, 5-mans, and 3-pick powers, the most profitable slips on PrizePicks, completely for you. You can get a 5-day free trial with our Discord, and you can get all of our plays completely free. As you can see, we post all of our PrizePicks slips, and we actually post plays for every single type of app. We post the exchanges, the sports books, all the DFS apps like PrizePicks, Underdog, Better, Pick 6, Sleeper, and we are one of the most profitably tracked Discords out there. We post all of our unit recaps transparently, and we track everything over on Pickit. All of the slips that I build are in this Discord. Once again, if you want to try this out completely free for 5 days, the first link in the description is going to take you there, and you can get every single play for 5 days free. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications. That way you don't miss another one just like this. And once again, if you do want a 5-day free trial, both links in the description, and you can use code icon at checkout at Upside Tools, and you'll get 25% off.